Pulse to behind back. We start to lay our heart up and over. Start to settle into the breath. So allow your inhales to really inflate, nice and deep. Exhales, long release. And imagine we're starting to add a deeper quality to the breath. So with our inhale, we're gathering up stress, gathering up tension, like a tangible ball inside of us. And with our exhale, release. That solidness doesn't have to be inside of us anymore. Feel lighter by letting go. Take a few breaths like that, just finding this quality of release. With the crazy wind that's been going on today, sometimes it makes us feel unsettled. Even our thoughts feel so much more frazzled, like the quality of the wind. So in today's class, our hope and our idea is to ground into our body, remain present with our breath, so that despite the craziness, the literal chaos of the world around us, we're able to really tune into this present moment, and we don't have to remain frazzled. So as we're continuing a few more rounds of the breath that we got started, imagine that stress and tension that we're gathering up, we're releasing into the wind, and the wind carries it far, far away from us. We don't have to stress about it anymore. So just a few more breaths, and feel how by releasing all the chaos, all the frazzled energy, we're feeling so much more in this body, in this present moment, in this breath. One more good inhale just to get us started. Easy exhale. And then from here, let's take a grip of each elbow up in front of our chest. Gripping onto the elbows, start to let the elbows tilt off to the right. And notice you can pull the elbows to different angles. Play with it until you find an angle that feels really helpful for that left shoulder. Maybe even pushing that shoulder away from here. Inhale. And then with the exhale, open the elbows up like football goalposts. They're at 90-degree angles. And let the elbows fall open. It's like they're trying to touch the ground. Most likely they can't. But you're feeling this whole chest and shoulder area opening from the front side. Good. So then taking a grip of the elbows again. Now start to tilt the elbows to the left. And again, find the angle and the shoulder position, maybe pushing away from the ear. Find that angle that feels helpful for the right shoulder this time. If it doesn't feel good, keep on adjusting until you find the right spot. Release, the elbows start to pull open wide. Couple more breaths here. Another conscious breath. Inhale, tension building up. Gather it into your system. And exhale, release it to the wind. The wind carries it away. So now let's roll off the bolster on one side. And then use your hand to press the bolster away. Rolling onto your back again. From here, the knees start to come into the chest. The grip onto each knee. We rock around on the hips just a little bit. Easy, relaxed. We'll take a nice figure 4 stretch. So right ankle to left thigh. Then arms thread around the left side. You'll notice in a little while, we're gonna play with legs up the wall. And this is one of the poses we're gonna play with. So when legs are up the wall, that left foot will have something to push against. So it puts a different kind of pressure. So just notice how the body is in this moment so you can compare it. Compare and contrast, notice, because in noticing, we're being more present with our body, present with this experience. One more ginormous inhale. Easy exhale. Let's release and take it to the second ankle up. Hug, invites it in. Notice perhaps some of the frazzled energy that we were talking about. Maybe it's not necessarily in the head space. Maybe we could imagine it like the area surrounding the hips. Maybe that's our frazzled area. So just breathe into that space, ground into it. All the frazzled energy released with our exhales. One more good breath in. Nice exhale. And then as you release hands, uncross ankles, plant the feet about as wide as the mat. The arms just relaxed, open on the floor. Slowly start to take windshield wipers. So both knees eventually fall over to the left. Both knees eventually fall over to right. Take some time, nice and easy with this. The next time the legs start to fall over to the left, we'll stay. You have the choice either to just relax from that shape or to take left ankle and rest it on the right thigh. That feels like it's pulling the knee or the hip in a weird way, just release again. No, it's not necessary. One more breath on this half. Easy exhale. Get the ankle lifted up, release. And then take several rounds of the windshield washer before we switch sides again. Feel how this is helping us be much more present with a very low body. So imagine all that energy is getting much more grounded, much more stable. So the next time knees are over to right, let them stay. Option to put right ankle on left knee. Releasing ankle, take a few more windshield wipers. Good, and from there, slide the legs back long, stretch the arms up clear overhead. Like a good morning stretch, nice and long. Good, we're gonna head into a seated position. You can head there either through rolling through the side and pressing up, or just rocking your way all the way up to you. Good, let's start to head into a nice easy cobbler's pose. So your choice today, bottoms of feet can be quite a bit further forward, they can be quite a bit closer, your choice. If it's helpful to have the bolster in front of us, that could be something to easy rest over onto. So notice we're still working kind of similar spots that we've been present with over the last little bit. This hip area, but it's a new part of the hips. So imagine maybe there's new frazzled energy that suddenly is being exposed to the surface. So see about breathing and releasing that, just like we have been doing. To help the breath slow down even more, take another 3 very slow rounds. That third breath, if you're using bolster, scoot it away. Bring the left hand to the left knee and press into that. We'll free out the right hand to the side and let the nose go over the right. Feel how that pulls the low back muscles just a little bit longer, that left half. And slowly travel through the center. We'll start to switch it out. Press the right hand into the right knee and the nose will go over and left. Back to center. Lean low for another 3 breaths. As we slowly roll up, we're going to allow the legs to open out to a wide figure V shape. If you'd like to sit on bolster, that could be comfortable for the low back. If you'd like to lean forward onto bolster at any height again, that's fine. The knees need to be bent. That's another option as well. Perfectly safe. there's any adjustments that want to happen at this point, feel free to take some adjustments. Sometimes I'll kind of lengthen my spine up and then see if I can tilt forward just a bit deeper. Last deep inhale. Nice exhale. Find the hands on the ground. Slowly straightening the elbows. Slide the hands in one step at a time. Our spine gets this chance to straighten up. Roll the shoulders up, back, and drop them down. Do that 2 more times. Roll up, back, drop down. It's like the weight of the world drops with that release. Good. So then start to bring the legs underneath us. We're feeling. From kneeling, we're going to set up the blocks in front of us at medium height. This will be closer to a puppy pose, so you keep the hips over the knees. I like to bring the fingertips in front of the blocks to lower my elbows down. And then I start to rest my forehead down to the ground. The idea, like puppy pose, is continuing to let the heart area droop down. So it's a nice back bend after those forward folds that we just took. So if this becomes a little too intense for the shoulders, you can release the blocks or lower the blocks to a small height. But I love the lift because it helps my shoulders have just a little bit more space to drop into. So we'll be here just a bit longer. If you need to adjust, go ahead and adjust. If the forehead's able to make contact with the ground, sometimes I'll let the head rock a little bit to the right and a little bit to the left. That's an amazing way to ground because there's a lot of acupressure points across the forehead. So rocking like this can be very relaxing for the nervous system. Notice if there's any belly or back muscles that are trying to resist. Can we let it just relax? Letting gravity take over just a little bit more. Last huge breath, let it go deep into belly. Long exhale. And then rock some of your weight forward until fingers come in contact with ground. Lifting the head up. Press into those fingertips. We're lifting away from blocks. Blocks sweep to the sides. Then sink your hips all the way back into child. From that child pose, we're going to take a shoulder stretch underneath our body. So right arm threads under that left arm. Rock onto the corner of the forehead. Just allow the shoulder to relax as much as it can into the shape. If the head is uncomfortable, you can slide a block on under the head. We'll start to unwind this right arm, and then we'll take it directly to second side right away. Left arm threading through. One more inhale. Exhale, start to release the shoulder. Both arms can stay forward or they can tuck back, whatever feels more comfortable. Either way, we'll be in the child pose just a little bit longer. Now finding the hands under the shoulders, we press into the ground. Let's rise up to an easy kneeling position. Take 2 or 3 rounds of cat-cow. Go super, super slow. Let those back muscles stretch up and expand down. So a moment to be with the feet. We're going to try to tuck all the toes and send a little bit of the weight backwards. If the fascia is intense right there, just stay. If you want to come all the way to torso upright over the feet, that's fine. It could be intense though, so sending weight forward makes it much more bearable. Either way, let's try to take 5 slow breaths. Release any of that tension to the wind. Good inhale. Easy exhale. And coming forward, let the toes circle out or pound out, whatever feels good. Good. So the right hand rotates to the side. Maybe we rotate all the way to fingers pointing to the knee. Focus just on right hand for now. If that's not enough wrist stretch, think your hips backwards a little bit. If it's plenty right where it's at, just enjoy it for a few breaths. Gently lifting right hand up, open and close. And then back of the hands to the ground, fingers to the knee again. A couple of breaths in that arrangement. Notice how transitioning the focus to a new area, we're not in that intensity of the feet at all anymore. It's like we forgot that we were just breathing so intensely for that area. So recognize sometimes that's how tension is. Yeah, go ahead and lift this wrist up, open and close, or roll. Then we'll start to work on left for a moment. Rotate the fingers around, palm is normal down first. And yep, maybe fingers to the knee. If you need to sink the hips back, that's okay. You don't have to. New focus, new area. Breathe in into this spot and be present with this. And just lift up, open and close. Back of the hand to the ground, fingers pointing to the knee. More breath in, out. Feel free to roll that wrist down. We're going to do some legs up the wall poses. So if Matt's away from the wall right now, go ahead and scoot it all the way to touch. And then I like to have my glutes touch the wall before I swing them up. That way I don't have to play that game of scoot, scoot, scoot. Yep, so it's kind of like a side saddle and then swing up. Beautiful. So here the first focus is going to be the legs straight up. You have the option just to stay in this super restful spot, or if you want to experience a little bit more in the hamstrings, we'll get your blocks and we'll bring the blocks under the heel ankle area so that it pushes the legs a little further away from the wall. So if you want your blocks, just kind of wave at me for a second and I'll come back. I know they're far for all of you, so you need them? Yep. Okay. Do you want them?
I just like, please.
Yeah. Let's try it. Oh, you're going pretty far. So let's try this height. And both of them. Oh, do you want the second one?
Oh.
I was just gonna do that one, but that's fine. There's an option for using 2 blocks that pushes it even more. So that's where I was waiting. So let's see how far you want to go. That's touch. Okay. Very well. So if it gets to be too much, especially for low back, this is one, either adjust the block height or release them entirely. It's not necessary. Does it feel like the hips are trying to lift off the ground?
No, just like it just hurts a little bit. It's a little sore for whatever reason. I don't know why.
A bad hurt or just a stretching sore? Okay. You can release one of the blocks and then turn the other block to the middle plate. And see if you like where that breaks it. It's always a good question to ask. Is this a bad sore or is this just stretching? So that's a very important question. It's how we learn to become present. It's how we don't injure ourselves. No. Sometimes you get to that intensity and you just release, and that's fine. So now if you two are ready, with blocks gone, let's let the legs start to go wide. So you choose how wide it goes. You don't have to force it to be right at the edge. Maybe only go to 90% of the edge. Nice, comfortable. Breathe into the low back, try to help it release. 2 more breaths right here if you're doing okay. Then we'll take the feet into cobbler pose shape. Bottoms of feet touch. You're welcome to just leave this super comfortable, super relaxed. Some people might gently push the hands into the knees if you like how that feels. Other people might grab the elbows and let the elbows rise up overhead if you like how that feels. Nothing's required. It's just suggestions if you want to. Okay, and we'll play with one more thing here with the wall. Just like I promised, we're gonna do the figure 4. So first is gonna be the left foot on the wall. So you're welcome to slide it up as much as it needs to be able to get the right ankle onto that left side. So then from there, you have all the playroom that you need for the left foot to be sliding up or sliding down. Sliding down, you start to feel the intensity right away, so don't feel like you have to go too far. If you like how it feels, you could push the right hand into the right knee, but it's not required. It's only if you like that. Lots of play spaces. Notice how this one's super different than when we were just hugging around it. It's like we have something that we can push against. And so you can choose how to use the wall to help you rather than hurt you by pushing it too far. Let's take about 3 more breaths on this first. Nice and slow, slow it down, 2 and 1. And with a gentle, gentle release, take it to the second side. Again, be just as conscientious, just as slow, just as tender as you were on the first side. Gathering up the tension here, release it with the exhale into the wind. Take 3 more slow breaths like that. Whenever you've taken that 3rd breath, you can gently release this side. And start to help your body to take a fetal position to one side. So nice and easy, bent knees. Start to fall over. If you need to push away from the wall at all, that's fine. Whatever feels helpful. But notice that feeling of a rush of blood back into the legs. Be present with that experience. Ground into the legs through that experience. Be here just a little bit longer. Just experiencing the legs in this totally different way. If you feel ready to press up to a comfortable seated place, let's rise. So as we rise, we're going to use the wall to help the shoulder stretch now. So facing toward the back door, we've got this left shoulder ready to make some circles on the wall. You'll probably want to scoot a little bit away from the wall to give it some space for that shoulder to move. If you feel like it's too easy as you're doing it, you can scoot a little closer to make it harder. So you'll place your palm of your hand on the wall and slowly start to circle up. It starts to get tight the further up and back it goes. So go nice and tender through that back area. Then eventually return that rainbow all the way back forward. Another full cycle like that, up and back. No sense of rush. Eventually return. Still don't feel rushed. When you get to your third one, you'll pause at the angle where you're about shoulder height behind your back. If you want to make it harder, you want to go deeper, start to turn your shoulders back to the mirror space, but you don't have to. Just stay with that shoulder, stay present with it. Notice how you can even kind of tilt your head to accentuate up the neck. One more breath here. You'll lean away from the wall to free up the arm, cross that left arm over the body, and then the right arm hugs it in. Again, you're welcome to tilt the head away to help accentuate the stretch. Okay, as we start to release, turn to face the other direction. Right hand at the wall. Eventually we're tracing the 3 circles, so up to eventually go back, and don't feel rushed if I'm saying words because you know at the end we have plenty of time. So eventually we return. Round 2 when you're ready looks just like round 1. When you're ready for round 3, you stay at the shoulder height behind you. Option to turn to face more forward, but you don't have to. Inhale, exhale, lean away from the wall, cross this right arm over the body, left arm hugs it in. Tilting the head feels helpful, use it. Another huge breath flows in, out. Good work. Gentle release. And just like we did earlier, let's do a few of those shoulder shrugs where we drop at the very end. So roll up, back, and just drop. Feel that tension go. If you like that, your own pace. One more. Work. So we're going to use the blocks to help set up a ramp. I recommend having the bolster at the end of the ramp touch the wall in case you need the wall to be kind of like an extra pillow for the head. Some people need it, some people don't. So what you're going to do is have one block be at a tall height, the next block at a small height, but you need a little bit of space in between the two blocks. And then when you put the bolster up onto that ramp, the back of the bolster should be about where the wall is. Perfect. So I'm going to show you two options. The first option is a little bit easier for the quads and the knees. The second option is a little bit deeper. So option number one is just the right knee tucks in. Even if this is too much, you let it go a little bit wider until the knee is comfortable. So option one is just one leg, and then I'll tell you the halfway point to switch legs. Option two would be trying to get both legs at the same time tucked back. So it's up to you, whatever your quads are comfortable with. And then you let your body slowly relax up onto this ramp. So that way you're propped up. So if you lay back and it's too intense on the knees, just take it down to one. And yep, just like that, having the knee a little bit more lifted is absolutely a way to make it even more gentle. If you even just kind of like tilt this knee kind of like a cross position onto the other, so like even just let it touch and rest, that would be another way to make it more tender, more gentle. We're choosing our options. I'll tell you the halfway point for those that are doing one leg. Those that do two, just rest the whole time. Last inhale for this half. Exhale. And then gently release this leg, drop it down to ground, switch sides if you're on the one. Take your time, listen to this side just like you did the first. It's okay if one side needs to look different because the knees are different. When you get there, start to settle into the breath. Using that breath to help release tension, whether it's tension of the mind, tension of the emotions, tension of memories that have gone on this last day or week, tension of the physical body. It's all, we give it permission to not have to reside in this vessel. Like You let there be old milk just crusted against the inside of a pot. All it does is just get more and more stinky and gross. So give it permission to release. It doesn't have to stay in the pot. It doesn't have to stay in our vessel. Last good breath in. Easy exhale. And starting to gather the hands underneath us. We'll press up, free out the leg. We're going to scoot ourselves backward enough that when we sit on the bolster, we're also sitting on that first block. So we're pretty high up, nice and propped up. The feet will be planted out to each side. And we're going to use that to take an easy supported version of Malasana. So the feet can be a bit further if you want. If they're further, you might use the forearms or the hands to press the hips open. If you're scooting the feet closer, maybe you can use the elbows. Sometimes if I'm doing this version, I need a little bit more space than my hands can do. So you're welcome to take fists instead of palms. And sometimes that's that last couple of inches that I need. So feel free to lengthen spine up. Allow those hips to relax open. One more chance to be with those hips. We've done a lot of work with hips and shoulders today. So feel yourself grounding down. Feel yourself as if you were a plant, having these fun roots coiling into the earth. And feel how the contact with the earth helps you feel more safe, more secure. Like the deeper these roots are able to ground down, the less impact the wind has on us. You're able to grow tall through that spine. You're able to release the tension down, trusting that the earth can take it. With our exhale, the wind can take it. We don't have to hold it all. So take 3 more ginormous breaths, just like your 3rd breath finishes. We'll start to head toward our Shavasana, whatever that's going to be today. Since we have this ramp, if you want to make it nice and easy and just lay back onto your ramp, that's fine. If you want to use any of these props in different ways, that's also fine. Make sure you're comfortable, adjust in any ways that you need. We'll be here for several minutes. So feel into your body at this point. Do you feel a heavier quality? Sometimes heaviness is not what we're looking for. It makes us sluggish. But on windy days, when it feels like the wind just wants to blow us off balance, sometimes it's nice to settle into the earth quality of heaviness, groundedness, settled, those types of qualities. Just allow this easy breath to flow through the system, each exhale helping us sink our roots even deeper. Allow any residual tension that you still find on any level to release out with the breath. The wind carries it far, far away, no longer needing to be a part of us. We're here for several minutes, just keep on focusing on that breath. Breathe deep in the inhales. The exhales. Introduce little movements back to fingers and toes. Ankles and wrists. Start to stretch out in ways that feel really good. No rush. After maybe 3 or 4 more breaths of waking up like this, when you feel ready to rise up to a comfortable seated place, we'll all join ourselves right up here in the center. So here with hands at the heart, we feel at one with our body. We feel grounded, we feel secure. So with these qualities helping us feel steady amidst the crazy winds that may be blowing around us, with this steadiness, these roots to help us feel safe, secure, and stable, let's allow ourselves to wrap up the time that we shared together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light, and happiness, and peace. Namaste.